This month we are locking in, okay? It is the start of August and I just want to be completely locked in onto the habits that I want, the things that I want to do, the way that I want to feel and think, and removing anything that doesn't align to that. So the past week or so, I've kind of naturally done this where I've decided to pick up a few more habits that I've wanted to include and remove things that I don't. And since it's the start of a new month, I decided to turn this into a challenge because I think I will be more accountable if I do it this way. And so I have set up a tracker on Notion on all the things that I want to do every single day and how I'm going to kind of embody this best version of myself and just be really aligned to who I want to be and the life that I want to have. So this is the Notion page that I have. So I've just got a cover page, an icon, and it's called the August lock-in. That's what I'm naming this challenge. So the habits that I've got are, firstly, my morning ritual. Now I have a few different things that I like to do in the morning that really help me just stay present, stay calm, and just make me feel better throughout the day. So some of these are things like journaling, meditating, scrolling on Pinterest specifically because it really just feels really aligned and makes me feel good to see images that are on Pinterest. Every time I scroll on it, because I have searched up things that I want in my life, the algorithm just really works for me and it makes me feel good if I scroll on that in the morning. Those are some of the rituals that I want to do in the morning. Other ones are things like affirmations and visualizing. So in the morning, I want to do a minimum of 2 of these every single morning. 2 feels like a good amount where I can be consistent with that every single day, including the days where I'm busier or I'm going to the office. And then on the weekend where I have more time, I can do all of them or I can simply do 2 as well. But I want to aim to do 2 of those every single morning. Then the alignment tab is during the day when I find myself straying into thoughts of doubt or self-consciousness or lacking confidence or things like that I don't want to feel, to kind of catch that and realign myself. So things that I like to do to realign myself, the primary one is meditating and visualizing because I can do that anywhere at any time. And another one that I like to do, which I tend to do at home, is journaling. So those are things that I like to do to kind of get myself back into the space that I want to be. Those are some things that I really like to do during the day. So I want to make sure that I have a tab to make sure that I bring myself back to the feelings that I want to feel throughout the day rather than just in the morning when it's kind of easier to feel aligned because you're in your own space. Then the next tab is a movement. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have a couple of tabs where I'm going to type out the specific things that I do. So for example, the morning rituals, I will type out the ones that I'm doing that day just because I think it would be nice to see a log of the ones that I do. But the third thing is a movement. So I wanted to make sure that I'm moving every single day. I have definitely been better with this in the past week, but I want to make sure it stays consistent. And this does include rest days. So on a rest day, to just stretch and do some yoga or do a little walk will be more than enough. But on the other days, I do want to make sure I'm getting more movement into my day and just be more consistent with it and keep track of that. So I do then also have a tab for movement where I can type out what movement I do that day. And the next one is an aligned action. So this is something that is like a big action that shows that I am aligned to who I want to be. So this could be socializing, this could be a solo date, this could be having an evening in reading, it could be trying a new hobby, it could be meeting new people, anything that feels aligned to the version of me that I want to be. This is very much tailored to who you are and your own goals. So this is very different for each person, but this is another tab that I want to have. And I, of course, want to type out what action I do that day. Then the last thing is my evening ritual. These are the same options as the morning ones in terms of the journaling, the meditating, the visualizing, the affirmations, and was there something else? I think that was it. And I again want to do a minimum of 2 of those every evening as well. So those are the things that I want to do for this August challenge, and let's see how it goes. Good morning. It is day 2 now. Let's catch up on day 1. So I do have a few thoughts. Firstly, in terms of the morning rituals, I struggled to do these as soon as I woke up, and I think I'm going to have to play around with it a little bit more to see how I prefer to apply these to my mornings. It's likely that I will keep doing the journaling as soon as I wake up, but the meditating and the visualizing, I think because I have my eyes shut and I feel relaxed, it's very easy for me to just fall back asleep. So I will have to play around with that a little bit more and see what ones I like to do right when I wake up and what ones I like to do a little bit later. Another thing that I noticed about having a morning ritual is that it means that I first of all want to wake up because I'm excited to do these things that make me feel good right in the morning, and it stops me from kind of picking up my phone and scrolling on Instagram or doing something that I don't want to do right when I wake up. So it's definitely helped me with that because I already have a list of things to do instead that I know are going to make me feel good. So yesterday morning I did journal, I did meditate, visualize, and I did some affirmations as well. So I did enjoy all of those, and that means I in fact did my morning ritual yesterday. So like I said, I'm going to play around with that a little bit more in the upcoming days. Also because it was Saturday yesterday and it's Sunday today, I do have more time in terms of my morning. So I'll see how it goes in the weekdays, specifically the days that I go to the office. I have previously done my meditation and my visualizing on my commute to work, which I have really enjoyed. So I might keep that up and we'll see how it goes. But I do find that if I try and do both of those as soon as I wake up, I just fall back asleep, which is not what we want. Then in terms of alignment, I did do that. I just kind of brought myself back to how I wanted to feel, especially because I was heading out and I was socializing, and I can sometimes get a bit self-conscious and lose confidence with myself. And so I did manage to realign myself as the day went on, which I really liked. Movement, I did 28k steps yesterday, which was wonderful. I loved that. I was walking around in London. I did go to like a disco event, which was really fun, and I was socializing there, and I got my steps in that way as well. So I loved that. So we'll do steps. And I did do some stretches in the morning. Then aligned action. My aligned action for yesterday was socializing and trying a new event. So the disco event was not something that I've done before, and it was nice to just go out, try something new and see my friends. So I really did enjoy that. And then in terms of my evening ritual, even though I got home at I think quarter to midnight, I still did two of my evening rituals. So I journaled and I scrolled on Pinterest, which I love. There's just something about scrolling on Pinterest that makes me feel aligned, and I love it. So I did in fact hit all of them yesterday. Now today we are on day 2. So if we add a new page, let me figure out how to do this. So we are now on day 2. So this morning I did do my journaling, meditation, visualizing, and I scrolled on Pinterest. I did in fact do this a bit separately. So I journaled as soon as I got up, as soon as I woke up, and then I freshened up, brushed my teeth, had a shower, had my water, and then I sat down and did my meditating and did my visualizing and scrolled on Pinterest. So I did like the fact that I had woken up a bit by the time I got to some of the later rituals, because I think that helped me to just feel them a lot more and to be more connected to them. So I do love that. Now we are halfway through the day, so we haven't got the rest of them done just yet, but that is what we will be working on. In terms of alignment, I'm not feeling the need to do that right this second, and same with the movement. I'm not sure if I want to do a walk or if I want to do a spin class later today, so both of those we'll see kind of how I feel over the next few hours. In terms of the aligned action, today I want to do some sketching or painting. I'm thinking painting, maybe a bit of both, I don't know, but I do just want to get back into my drawing era because I have loved it. And so I'm feeling, I think last week I did a 25-minute sketch session during my lunch break in the middle of the week, which I actually really enjoyed, and it was a great way for me to just get more practice in. And because it's Sunday and I have a bit more time, I figured we would do more sketching, maybe do a bit of painting. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. One thing that I forgot to mention at the start of this video was, yes, these are the things that I want to include in my day. However, the thing that I want to remove or be more wary of is the things that I consume. So this is consumption in terms of the movies that I watch, the TV shows that I watch. With movies and TV shows, it's primarily the amount that I watch them, and I don't want to be sat there consuming content so much when I actually feel a lot better when I'm creating instead. So I want to have a better balance with that. I want to really reduce my consumption in terms of Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I deleted it a while back because I was just stuck on it. And Instagram, I'm kind of feeling similar where I'm getting a bit stuck on it as well. So I do want to reduce my screen time. I have considered deleting the Instagram app of my phone. I kind of go through phases where I will delete my Instagram account and then I will get it back maybe 6 months later, or sometimes even longer than that. And then I will go through a phase of wanting to remove it again. And I'm kind of at a phase where I want to remove it again, but I haven't quite decided on that yet. So I'm going to see how this first week goes and then decide if it is something that I want to remove completely, where I do just remove the app, and we'll see how that one goes. But in terms of the consumption, it's not really something that I'm tracking necessarily. I might want to add it as another tab just to kind of note down the things that I've consumed, how I feel about it, whether I want to change any of them. So that might be another tab that I add, or something that I note down for each day. But that is another aspect of this as well, where yes, I'm implementing these new habits and I'm trying to make these a bigger part of my life, but I'm also being more wary of the things that I consume because that has such a big effect on me. So let's get to the aligned action of today, which is sketching/painting. Over the next couple of days, I continued to implement these habits and to play around with some of the ritual aspects to decide which order I liked them in, and I really enjoyed just having a list of things that I knew would make me feel better throughout the day. And I also just felt more present in general throughout different moments of the day, which I really enjoyed. Good morning. Let's have a quick little update before I head to work. Firstly, I have in fact deleted Instagram. Now I still have my account, I just don't have the app on my phone anymore. I removed it either yesterday or the day before, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Okay, it made me realize that I was using it just to fill my time, even if I actually wanted to do something else or I didn't really want to go onto the app. I would just go on my phone to do something else and then end up on Instagram and scroll for a while, especially in the evenings. Whereas now that I don't have it, I find that I'm using my time for other things, especially hobbies and exercise. I used to tell myself that I don't have enough time to exercise, and now that I've removed Instagram, I definitely have time to exercise and to do my workouts, which I'm really enjoying. It has also helped me go to sleep a bit earlier as well, so I'm liking that too. One thing that I do miss about Instagram is that it's a good place to find social events, especially in London. I always would find them through Instagram. So that is something that I'm missing. And I don't know how I feel about that at the moment. There are other ways to find events and things, but I do think Instagram was the best way to do it for me. So that is the only thing that I'm missing from it. But other than that, I'm really enjoying not having it. And instead of scrolling on Instagram, when I do have the urge to just sit and scroll for a bit, I scroll on Pinterest instead. And two reasons why this is a lot better for me. Firstly, I don't scroll on Pinterest as much as I would if I had Instagram. And secondly, when I do scroll on Pinterest, I tend to feel inspired to then do something else. And it helps me just boost my energy, make me feel inspired or motivated to do something else. So I am enjoying that switch as well. Today, I am heading for dinner after work to meet a friend, which I'm really looking forward to. I kind of went through a phase in, I would say, autumn time where I was trying to make the most out of working in London by going out afterwards, meeting new people, trying to find new events to go to. And then since it started to get sunny, I kind of stopped doing that and I kept all of my socializing for the weekends. However, I would like to bring it back a little bit and use my work days a little bit more
more and just have more things to look forward to after work. So I am looking forward to doing that today. Other than that, I have really been enjoying the other habits that I've been implementing, especially my morning and evening routines. I've really been enjoying them. In terms of the realignment item that I want to do during the days, I don't know how that's going to work today in terms of going to the office. I think it's largely going to rely on going on walks when I need a little bit of a break and doing a quick meditation when I need to kind of bring myself back if I do get stressed out. So we'll see how that one goes today, but I am looking forward to continuing this and I'm enjoying it a lot so far, and I do feel quite different. I think it's a combination of, yes, having this challenge and these habits that I want to do every day, as well as just feeling kind of inspired.
Good morning, it is day 6. I'm on my way to work. I have been feeling so good. I have definitely had moments of resistance, especially yesterday evening for some reason, but I'm getting a lot better with dealing them and with dealing with times where I'm a bit triggered. This is usually work related, when I get a bit stressed out or a bit worried, and the things that I have found the best to deal with that are: 1, going for a walk; 2, doing a quick meditation or visualization; and 3, listening to affirmations. Those things have really been helping me, so I will kind of jump between them until I feel a bit better. So that has been really helpful. I have really been enjoying this week, and I'm still so shocked at how I've managed to do a workout every day since this has started, especially because this is something that I used to complain about a lot and like assume that I couldn't do. Today after work we do have like a team summer social, and then tomorrow will be the last day of week 1.
Good evening. It is officially the last day of week 1, and let's wrap up the first week, okay? So, the morning routine. I love this. I really enjoyed making sure that I had time to do this in the morning. And I know I mentioned earlier on in this week that doing a visualization as soon as I woke up wasn't working because I kept falling asleep. But as I continued to do it, I did really enjoy it, and I would do one as soon as I woke up and then another one as I was on my commute to work, which I really enjoyed. And it definitely helped me to just wake up a little bit more slower and just make sure that I had more time in the morning to fit these in. So I really enjoyed those, and I just think they made me feel a lot better throughout my day. Then the second thing, alignment. I love this. Now, the main things that I did throughout the day to kind of realign myself when I was getting stressed out or just when I felt like I needed a little bit more of a boost were to, 1, go on a walk; 2, listen to meditation music; and 3, listen to affirmations. So I really enjoyed doing all 3 of these. And when I was at home during my lunch break, I would often sometimes do a like 15-20 minute meditation. When I was in the office, I will go for walks. When I'm sitting and working, I will just listen to meditation music, which really helped just to calm me down, de-stress myself. And whilst I was still getting triggered with certain things with work, this week has definitely showed me that I do know how to bring myself into a better feeling and to be a lot calmer and to just look after myself a little bit better when it comes to stress. So that has really been good, and I'm happy that that has been implemented. In terms of movement, I have done a workout every single day of this week, including today. I went for a walk earlier today and I did some stretches, and then other than that, I'm using it as more of a rest and recovery day because I've done 6 days of workouts, which is definitely not what I'm used to doing. So I want to make sure I give myself a little bit of a break, and I just feel so happy that I've managed to make movement a bigger priority in my life, because it's something that I always kind of have resistance to and tell myself I don't have enough time to do it, or it's stressing me out trying to fit it in, when actually I definitely can do it, and this week has shown that. I really love that that has become a part of my evenings. One thing to note is that my evenings have definitely been freer, first of all, because I've removed social media, and secondly, alongside removing Instagram, I also am not creating any short form content, and a lot of my evenings were either done to create that content or to edit and schedule it. So whilst I'm still creating long form content because this is what my preference is, I'm not spending any time doing short form content at the moment across this month. So that has definitely also meant that my evenings are a lot freer, which I've been enjoying as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with that after this challenge. I'll see kind of how I feel by the end of August, but I am definitely enjoying the no social media, the being careful with what I consume, and the no short form content creation or consumption of it. So I'm definitely enjoying that because it has not only made me feel a little bit more freer, but just meant that I have more time in my evenings, which I love to do. Then moving on to my aligned actions, I've been doing at least one aligned action every single day, which I have loved. Now this varied from socializing, reading a book, spending some time on a hobby, or editing and scheduling a video. So I really enjoyed not only that I did at least one aligned action every day, but that they were quite varied, because I find that sometimes my week will focus on one aspect over the others. So I might focus on socializing one week and neglect everything else, or I might focus on editing videos and then neglect everything else that week, especially when it was short form content. So I'm glad that I've had a lot more variation this week as well. Evening routines, loved these. I already had implemented these a little bit prior to the challenge, but having it as one of my habits to tick off every day has definitely meant that I've gone to bed a lot earlier to make sure that I have time to do at least one or two of these rituals. I've done a minimum of 2 every single day, and I have found that I've enjoyed visualizations and meditations more than journaling, whereas previously I was enjoying the journaling more. So that's a little bit of a change for me, but I have really enjoyed this week. I feel so much better, so much clearer, and I feel like it's just the start of so much more. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks to continue this challenge. Thank you so much for spending week 1 of this challenge with me, and I will see you next week for week 2.